Welcome to the Growth Enablement Madness podcast, and I'm Jim Ward, your host, CEO of BrainCell, the growth enablement company. I'm absolutely mad about helping businesses grow and scale. And in this podcast, my team and I get a chance to talk shop with industry thought leaders about a variety of growth enablement strategies, stories, and technology trends. I'm happy that you're here, so let's get the growth conversation started. Welcome, everybody, to the Growth Enablement Madness podcast. I'm Jim Ward, CEO of BrainCell. Glad to have you back to our program. We have a terrific guest again. We always say we have a terrific guest, but we always have terrific guests. So why wouldn't I say it over and over again? Today, we have a gentleman whose name is Paul Black. He is the co-founder of SalesEye, which, by the way, was recently acquired by SugarCRM. So that's an interesting story in and of itself. But hey, Paul, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much. Looking forward to talking to you for the next 20, 30 minutes, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, it'll be fun. I hope entertaining as well. So if you have any jokes, go ahead and tell them now or later. Anyways, and of course, I'm here with my co-host, Sarah Reed.
Yes, good to be here. Excited about the conversation. Are you based in the UK right now, Paul, or where are you?
Yes, I certainly am. So I'm in Solihull, so I'm about 100 miles north of London as I'm speaking to you right now.
Nice.
I'm only second generation here. Family from London and Shire, not to be confused with Worcestershire. Anyway, so have family there still. So I'm really interested in understanding how did you come up with SalesEye? What was the impetus?
Yeah, it was a long time ago now, but SalesEye was born to create and send actionable sales insights to low-tech users in manufacturing, distribution, and wholesale. And it was to do it without the reliance on data input to help them sell more. And I was desperate to go and get working in the USA market. That was the important thing to me. It was actually one of your larger organizations, a company called Office Depot at the time. It started me thinking, they're a Florida-based organization still in there, and they arrived in the UK. And if you bought a ream of paper from them, the next day in the post, you would get some envelopes. And Office Depot wiped about 3,000 of 5,000 office product dealers completely off the map in the UK in less than 2 years, similar to what Amazon now does. And I now know the facts. Office Depot are now a customer of ours, and we know there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. But I wanted to create a solution which would host transactional data from our customers, look at the buying patterns, and it would direct them to issues, but more importantly, opportunities, and address customers of all sizes. So go and help that salesperson. And without sounding corporate, the Aberdeen Group say that about 43 hours of a salesperson's time is looking for information. So my idea was give them the questions and give them the answers, because my argument has always been they didn't know what the question was in the first place. So we deliver both. And that was the idea of SalesEye. Give it to a salesperson in their hand, in front of the organization, so they could go and sell more.
That's great. And so, I didn't get a chance to really have you tell me a little bit about yourself, but what's your background? Where do you come from? Are you double E or you?
No, I'm not a particularly intelligent person. I've got to be honest.
Join the club.
Right.
I'm in the same club as you.
You're in the right.
We're all in the right room.
The clever thing that I've done in my life is employ clever people. So that's been my knack. But I come from a sales background, and I've sold in software market, Hewlett-Packard, Capgemini, Ernst Young for many, many, many years. And I got stung very, very badly by one of those organizations and decided to set my own business up. And that's how it came about. So always been in sales, always been interested in sales, got a passion for it, want to help people sell better.
Good. That's great. The Capgemini being one of the large consulting groups. So you were with consulting groups selling their services, et cetera. Yeah. Is that, yes? That's very interesting. That's a good background for this. We've been a partner of SalesEye now for a couple of years. SalesEye, shouldn't say SalesEye. People will be spelling it with EYES. So SalesEye for a couple of years. And certainly we're a partner of Sugar's. We're an elite partner of Sugar's. It's one of the largest global partners in the world, I guess, when you say it that way, Jim. That's what it means.
That's what global means. See,
right.
You're in the right room, Paul.
You're in the right room. Thanks, Sarah. Don't need your help, really. Anyways, so what is revenue intelligence?
Well, I think the important thing is there's lots of buzzwords out there. There's growth enablement, there's sales enablement, there's revenue intelligence, there's sales intelligence, and most of them have big crossovers. So if you take the broader one out of all of them, which is growth enablement, It's a strategy that involves all employees in a company to help accelerate growth and sales. It's a broader approach than sales enablement and revenue enablement, which focuses on preparing the salespeople for the meeting. But if I was to put it simply, it's the activation of your most important growth assets. Your sales team, your marketing team, your customer success team. So that go-to-market part of your business. So what you need to do is you need to go and hire amazing talent. You need to build your tech stack. You need to create content. You need to establish a go-to-market strategy. And then what you need to do is you then need to go and get the most out of that team. You need to refine, you need to optimize those processes with sales enablement and revenue enablement. And you need to prepare the business to drive and support higher growth. And revenue intelligence is that driver to be able to go and help you do that. So it's that step inside that journey.
That's great. So, Paul, what we're hearing from our customers and prospects, and in some ways we're experiencing it ourselves currently, is that what we're seeing in today's market is longer sales cycles, longer time to decision, sometimes no decision at all. So how does revenue intelligence help sales teams to overcome these challenges to continue to grow and scale?
That's a really big question. That's a really big question, which would take about a day to answer. It usually falls into a number of silos, all of which need addressing. Of course, the first thing you need to do is you need to have the right team that can go and build pipe. Then what you need is, most organizations nowadays, when you go and look at them and you look at them in the finite, they've got poor pipeline visibility, they've got pipeline imbalance, they've got pipeline leakage, they've got pipeline stagnation, they've got pipeline, they need pipeline optimization. As I said, it would take us a day to be able to dig into all of them, but a couple of vital, I suppose. The two that would be absolutely vital to be able to try and accelerate what you're saying, Sarah, would be the visibility and the optimization, which I can quickly go over. Visibility makes it impossible for you to be able to monitor your deal. It makes it impossible to determine the status of your leads and make reliable projections. It makes it difficult for your sales team to see the full scope of those opportunities and to be able to, spot potential issues and leading to lost sales, inaccurate projections. And without that information, salespeople have no idea, which deals have the best chance of closing. And that's why these things stall at the end of the day. So the things that you need to work on and the things that interfere in that are poor data quality, which I'm sure you two have loads over time, lack of standardized processes, inadequate reporting tools, inconsistent processes against teams. So with the correct systems in place inside an organization, you can overcome those challenges and provide clear visibility into the pipeline for all the employees and accelerate it. So what you guys have been doing for the last however long, introducing a customer relationship management system, that's one thing. Investing in sales enablement technology to keep tabs on sales figures, evaluate them for weak spots, make decisions, etc. Implement standardized sales processes, keeping your sales teams productive and organized, retaining the leads. But ultimately, improving pipeline visibility is crucial to achieving the sales success and speeding the things up that you were talking about just then, Sarah. Does that help, or am I going a bit over the top?
No, that makes complete
very
sense.
Helpful. So with Sales Eye, there's the inference that artificial intelligence is used. Is that correct? Is there an AI component?
Yeah, certainly is. So AI to me is an incredibly important thing. So Sales Eye in its original guise was, or sales actually in the industries that we sell to in its original guise, was reactive. It was the ability to manually find insight from past transactional data, and then you take action on the back end of it. Then Sales Eye came along, and the idea was to be proactive. It was to react to past buying patterns and to build strategies about what you found. So the DNA within inside the business, the DNA within inside the data, the relationships with your customers and the interactions. And now the important thing is that we're trying to create a high impact, low effort experience for a sales team by using predictive analytics, using AI. We're trying to assist the team with predictive alerts to probable sales outcomes. We are saying to them, this series of customers are buying this product, but they're not buying this product, and they should be buying this product. And we're feeding them that information. And nobody's having to go away into the past and look through that data and cure through it in the way that they used to, in a reactive and a proactive way.
Help me visualize. Are they seeing this on screen? Of course, I know the answers, but for our audience, how are they seeing the data from sales
Sure.
items? Yeah.
Sure. So there's a couple of different ways that they are seeing it. And the way that it has to be done is a bit of a buzzword at this moment in time, which is guided selling, which is guided selling. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to guide the salesperson in the way that they should do. The best way to visualize that is if you know what golf is, then what we're doing is we're supplying you with a golf caddy. So we're supplying you with a golf caddy, and that golf caddy is saying, this is where you're going to be going today. This is what the course looks like. This is what the history of the course is like. This is how long the first shot's going to be. And this is the club I would recommend that you take to be able to go and play that shot. And what that is this is the cross sale that you need to be able to go and do. This is the past sale that you need to talk about and thank them for. And this is what you need to be able to go and get in front of their eyeball. So, as I say, you're utilizing sales I and AI as a golf caddy to help you, give you the information to help the salesperson, guide them through the sales process, give them the information they need to be able to go and sell more.
Well, it's an interesting analogy because that golf caddy has never helped me once.
Yeah.
So, I'm a little suspect at this point. No, but it's an interesting analogy. I get it. But it's a visual report as, you acquired by SugarCRM. Tell us a little bit about how, when they're in SugarCRM, in the CRM product, what are they seeing and where are they seeing it?
Yeah, sure. So what we're doing is we are taking the information out of the accounting system, and then we're basically punching it into SugarCRM inside a window within SugarCRM. So you are seeing the account information. So when did I speak to the customer last? What did I talk about in notes when I'm going to be talking to them next? The priority points from a soft data perspective sat within Sugar. And then what we're doing is we're giving the analyticals. We're giving them what are the products this customer should be buying off you and thank them. So, thanks very much. You bought this product, and this product off me, but I've noticed you're not buying this. And my average customer with a profile of you're a hospital. My average hospital customer of your size with an average amount of doctors would spend this amount of money on this product, and you don't. So you can have those conversations. So we are supplying, as I said, that data. What we're also doing is we're creating something called a snapshot, which is a complete document, completely guided selling that the salesperson can just turn up with no preparation and go have a very consultative conversation with the customer. And that's important because that's where we're coming now as a business. Because of the use of technology now, the purchaser is expecting to be educated by the seller. And that's what we're doing. We're giving them the information to help educate, make that transaction interesting, making it so the purchaser is looking forward to seeing the seller because he's going to get something from it. He's going to get educated in the call. So, that's what we supply.
So, Paul, who is this tool right for in terms of companies? Is it, across industries? Are there specific industries that would benefit from it more than others? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So, anybody that wants to sell more. Anybody that wants to sell more. I suppose that's it.
Which is everybody.
It's anybody, with more and more sales teams adopting sales AI platforms, the landscape has never been more competitive. And I'm sure you two have realized that. AI-guided selling is more than a nice to have to reshape your business sales strategy. It's becoming an essential component of a successful sales pipeline. And without sounding a bit sort of business worded, in today's challenging, dynamic sales environment, we need those advancements in AI and machine learning, and it's powering the future of sales by increasing efficiency and streamlining business growth. So anybody that wants sales profitability, anybody who wants sales retention, anybody who wants sales growth, efficiency, visibility, you've got to be giving them retailing, real-time insights. You've got to be automating sales tests. You've got to be boosting conversion rates. You've got to be improving customer satisfaction. And you've got to be ultimately accelerating the revenue growth. So it's those people that want those points, really.
Very good.
Are there any restrictions on the ERP systems? Right? Like I understand that it sits within SugarCRM, but what about the ERP side or the accounting side?
Yeah, isn't that the primary area where you're drawing the data?
Yeah, sure. So yes, it is. So it's the back office system. Not everybody knows it as an ERP system. Yeah. So some people have a resource planning system. Some people just have a transactional back office system. We've got at the moment about 190 active links into accounting systems where we're drawing the information into Sales AI. We've actually done more than that over time in the past. And there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that stops us from doing more. In the history and the time that I've set the business up, it's less than 10 systems that we haven't been able to connect to and get information out. Because all we're looking for is we're looking for the customer file, the person that our customer is selling to. We're looking for the product file. What are they selling? And the transaction file or the invoice file, the relationship between those two, how many of each product, etc. And then lots of things like sales lookup tables and product groups and things like that. But in the most basic, simple case, it's been less than 10 that we haven't been able to work with over all of these years.
Okay.
I have a question for you about the future of artificial intelligence. I wanted to get your perspective. What do you think by the end of this decade, which, by the way, isn't that far away, what are the big things we're going to see from AI? Now, let me preface this with, I tend to believe today everybody's very excited about AI with ChatGPT, generative AI, and I see that if you really were to count it on your fingers, how many AI-driven applications actually have real impact. It's not as many as people think right now. I don't think there's any silver bullet yet. That's my perspective. I think there's certain things that AI is really enhancing and doing a great job. This is one of those areas. I also think deflection with chat bots who are actually using AI to answer questions. That's an area that is a true return on investment. But what do you see by the end of the decade? What would be a prediction you have that you would think will happen with AI? Maybe one thing that'll change and disrupt the industry.
I think it's going to do more than one thing. The thing that it's already done is it's already changed the buying journey. It's already done. Purchasers prefer to gather information themselves before speaking to a human when researching a brand or a product. And I'm sure both of you do this exactly yourselves when you're buying something. So given that, it makes sense that sales professionals are already highly knowledgeable and have already done their research when they first speak to each other. So buyers have been self-learning for a while, but that thing that's really new now in 2024 and going forward is that doing their own research, but supercharged by AI. The supercharging of that research. Their research brings them further along the sales cycle, way further along the sales cycle before even speaking to a salesperson. What's more, over 50% of salespeople say that by 2025, AI will enhance the buyer's ability to do that research to the point that they will be able to make those informed decisions without engaging with sales reps. So I know that sounds like a cause for alarm. It just means the salesperson's role will shift in the face of that and become more consultative, more relationship, more solution focused. So gone are the days of the salesperson needing to provide every buyer with the most basic information about their product or their service. Instead, buyers and sellers will have, to me, higher quality conversations focused on personalized topics about how the product or the service meets a buyer's specific use case. Salespeople will have to spend less time catching up with buyers on the minutiae, but they'll be selling to them instead. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. And I would connect it to this. So that's the good news for the buyer's journey, that they're getting educated before having to talk to a salesperson. The bad news from an SEO perspective, if you've noticed that when you ask a question, generative AI is answering the question without you having to scroll down the page and find a link that perhaps we've written an article on in blog content that would have provided similar information. It's gathering that information, it's serving it up at the top, and therefore harder to get that SEO link. So that's a bad news from a marketing perspective.
But it shifts marketing too, right?
It does. It does shift marketing.
The AI overview.
I do know where you're getting from. Traditional selling methods, though, sometimes miss the mark, don't they? They lead to scenarios where the customer feels their needs aren't being understood. You need to consider the purchaser being shown products that don't match their needs or overwhelmed by choices. If you just do a Google search, that happens all the time. This not only frustrates the customer, but also makes the sales process totally inefficient. So salespeople spend their time on interactions that don't lead to conversions. And that's what we all desperately want our sales team to do, don't we? So to me, AI-guided selling addresses those issues. It gives a more tailored approach. By the way, that can be powered by AI or driven by a knowledgeable salesperson. Guided selling, AI-guided selling uses the information from the past interactions and customer preferences to suggest the products or services that are more aligned with that customer of what they're actually looking for. So I don't know, let's give an instance. If a customer regularly buys eco-friendly products, AI-based guided selling won't offer random items. It will only recommend eco-friendly products that align with past behavior. So, that's a big difference, and that's already happening. It's going to enhance recommendations. It's going to make them more relevant. It's going to simplify decision-making processes. It's going to enhance their purchasing journey. It's going to make the sales process more efficient. It's what we need. Guiding selling, AI-guided selling, simplifies purchasing decisions through expert advice, interactive tools. As I said, AI driven, but you can have human expertise that's going to be doing that. It's just that AI is unfortunately nearly always right nowadays when it's looking at lots of
Well, this is a fascinating subject. I'm very excited to be involved with the partnership and Sales Eye and Sugar. I see tremendous potential. We've already experienced it with some of our clients. This is Paul Black that's been with us today, a co-founder of Sales Eye. Paul, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, and we want to thank you for joining us today. I'm going to say to this audience, if you're interested in learning more about Sales Eye and AI-guided selling revenue intelligence, come see us. First of all, you can go to the website at braincell.com, BRAINS as in Sam, ELL.com, or you can reach out to us at Braincell at growth@braincell.com, growth@braincell.com. And let's schedule some time to talk because we can walk you through it in a very consultative manner, not a sales way, but because you'll see it yourself that it doesn't need to be sold. It's a very interesting product. So Paul, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you, Paul.
My pleasure.
Now, folks, you can find this podcast wherever podcasts are found. This is where in the Spotify, and I say the Spotify,
Apple,
wherever you listen to podcasts, you'll find
any of your podcast apps.
And of course, we do have a YouTube channel. You'll find this in actual real video styled podcast. Video, what do you call that?
That's what you call it.
Oh, it is? Okay, great. Thank you. Paul, thank you again. And Sarah, thank you for co-hosting with me as always. We look forward to our next podcast. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Growth Enablement Madness Podcast. I also want to thank Divinio Podcast for this episode's production and distribution. Finally, thank you to Sam Ward for our musical introduction and outro. Be sure to check out all of our episodes wherever you listen to your podcasts, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. New episodes are available monthly and cover all important topics for growing and scaling your business. Until next time, this is Jim Ward signing off. Let's grow.